How to use Anydesk. Anydesk tutorial for beginners. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well today. So if you need remote support, or if you would like to offer remote support, maybe you work in a company, maybe you're a freelancer, maybe you work for yourself, maybe you want to help somebody with something on their desktop, their laptop, their mobile device, and you are not in a predicament where you can actually physically be there. So we use software such as Anydesk. Anydesk is fantastic remote software that allows you to access remote devices and gives you full control of that device. So this is what their website looks like, and this is anydesk.com, and that is the URL right over there. Now, there are a bunch of things that they offer on their homepage, as you can see here. You can see it says why Anydesk. It gives you a bunch of the benefits, their features, and it tells you all the platforms that they operate on. They have a bunch of solutions. So, of course, depending on what your specific needs are, you can choose a bunch of different solutions. They also offer a bunch of services. So if you're unfamiliar about their product, or if you would like to know more, you can definitely access their help center or their customer success. And then this is exactly some information about their company, their partners, their resources, and then you can just contact them right over there. So once you've downloaded Anydesk, you can either use this download link over here. It says download now. It'll detect what device you are using, and it'll download a version appropriate for your device. Once you've done that, you will get to a screen that looks like this. Now, this is the Anydesk app. So right over here at the top, you can see that this is your address. So this address over here is how other devices will access your device. So you can tap on this button over here and you will get a link to your device, and then you can send that to somebody via email, via SMS, or however you'd like to. Then there is also a lock icon over here, and basically what this does is this locks the view of this address over here. And then you have an invite button. Now once you tap on the invite button, it opens a window and you can just select either the Anydesk ID or alias and enter it in right over here, and that person or that device will get an invitation. And this invitation is open for 2 minutes. As you can see down over here, it says invite duration is set to 2 minutes. So, if you invite somebody now and then tomorrow somebody uses that invite link, it won't work. So the 2 minutes can be set in your settings. So that duration you can set for 2 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, all time. It doesn't matter. It depends on what your needs are. So if you're going down over here, there are a bunch of options, as you can see here, and this is now specific to this invitation. So you can see there are a bunch of different options. As you go all the way to the end, you will get a menu, and here you can define this particular session. So these settings that you set here are for this specific session, and it's not for your entire profile or your all-time session. Another thing is, all of the boxes that are checked here are actually checked by default. So when you open Anydesk, this is actually the boxes that are checked. So this is your default settings. A few things that you can actually see over here, such as your device's sound output, who controls the keyboard and the mouse, if your device should restart after the session ends. You can also enable a privacy mode, and there are a bunch of other things, as you can see here. You can allow the session to be recorded if you would like, either by yourself or by the person who is accessing your device. Now, once you have invited somebody, your session will start and they can access your Anydesk and they can access everything on your device. Another thing that you want to start doing is on the top right hand side, you will see there are 3 lines, and this says general. Now, once you tap on general, you'll get a few options. First of all, you can set a password. You can also have a look at your address book, and now these are basically just other devices that you will be accessing that you can just click on and you'll access them immediately, instead of having to put that URL or that number in each and every time you want to access them. You can also record your sessions. So if you're going in over here, you can define where your sessions get recorded. So you can just drop down this menu and then you can just define exactly where you'd like to have them saved. So if you're going to the top here, this is now a new window. It kind of works like a browser. So you can see up over here, we can just close that recording window that we just opened, and we can just open this again. And as you can see here, as you go down, you can then If you are purchasing a version, you can change your license key. And then you have settings. Now, settings, basically, I've already opened a settings tab and it is right over here in the top. So you can toggle between your home page and your session of settings. And as you can see over here, these are now all the settings. So on the left hand side, you have a bunch of different settings. So obviously your user face, security, privacy, display, audio, connection, your captures, your file transfer, your recording, and your printing, and then your wake on LAN, and then your specific and your personal account. So what you basically get to define here is under settings, your interface. Your interface is generally up to you. It depends on your specifics. So your language, your alias, then we have miscellaneous, which is hide your local taskbar in Anydesk. So when somebody accesses Anydesk onto your computer or onto your device, this taskbar over here will actually not be displayed. And there are a couple other options over here. I don't want to get too into it because this basically is left up to what you prefer, what your preference is. Going down to security. Security is one of the more important elements over here. So if you have a look, if you're going into security, you can now define your security levels. So first of all, you have your interactive access. So this is, you always show incoming session requests. Only show incoming session requests if Anydesk window is open, or you can select never show incoming session requests. And so if you want to change any of these settings, you need to tap on this unlock security settings. And if you do that, you will then get a notification, as you can see here, and you'll say yes, and then it'll open up a new window. And now this new window, we can just open it up completely, and you can see now all of these settings are available for us to change. So let's say in a different situation, each one of us would have different specific needs. So for example, let's go into permissions and let's just have a look at our permissions profile. So your permissions, you can have a look at right over here. It says permission profile, and this is like your general permission profile or your general profile. So if you have this drop down menu here, you can see it says default, screen sharing, full access, or unattended access. Now you can add a profile as well if you'd like, but for now I'm going to just show you basically what the default profile looks like. So these are just your default settings. So if you have it left on default, then these are the settings that will apply. As you go down here, you can start to define what access people have when they are accessing your device over Anydesk. So I was in a situation in the past whereas somebody needed to access my device and I wasn't available to accept their incoming request. So there is a way around that. So what we do is we go into this permissions profile over here, and we're going to scroll down and we're going to go to unattended access. Now, once you select unattended access, this means that somebody can access your device without you actually accepting their incoming request. So what we do here basically is you need to set a password. Now, once you tap on set password, you're going to set your password, and then you're going to confirm your password, and then you can also then define which profile it is for. We are doing it for unattended access specifically, and then you're going to hit apply. Now, basically what that means is if your device is on, powered on, and you're not with your device, whoever needs to access your device remotely can access the device, and you won't have to accept their session, or you won't have to grant them permission to access your device. So that's quite nice if you're in that situation where you don't always have access to your device. And again, you need to set that password and give that password only to the specific people that you want the password to be given to, or to the people that you want to have access to your device. And then as you can see here, we can go back to your default permission profile. And as you go down here, you can change all of the settings over here, such as the device's audio, who controls your keyboard and your mouse. You can also do things like draw on the device's screen. You can allow record sessions. So the record sessions are nice because if you are showing somebody how to do something, if you want to help somebody, or if somebody is assisting you, then instead of trying to remember everything that they did, you can just record it and it'll basically come up as a screen recording, as you can see right over here. And you can then access it again if you need to refer back to it. You can also access you can also give access to a specific list of people. So you can just add the addresses in over here. And then you can also just define like your updates and how they get updated. And then also the discovery. So it says search local networks for other Anydesk clients. So of course, if you're on a local network, then you can just access people straight on that network. And then you can also tap the exclude this device from the discovery. And that is basically, trying to define the security settings. There are a few other things that you can define here, such as your display. So what you can basically do here is you can define the quality, your screen quality, your visuals. You can disable the remote cursor. You can show it. You can follow it. You can show or resize the cursor itself. There are different view modes. So it says original size, optimized display, optimized screen usage. So you can change all of these over here. And then also you can define your hardware acceleration. That says the OpenGL, Direct 3D, and so forth. And then there are some individual settings. So it says use default settings or remember individual settings for each desk. So you can actually change these per person that is accessing your device. Going down again onto the left hand side on your toolbar, there are a few other things that you can define here, such as the audio. So here you can disable or you can use your standard transmission, your standard audio, which is your speaker set that is on your device. And then the output audio, you can either use the standard device or you can disable it completely. So let's say your microphone is on and somebody is accessing your device and you don't want them to hear you, you can just tap on the disable right over here, and basically they won't be able to hear anything that you're saying or access your remote microphone. Then having a look at your connections right over here, you can define some details over here on your connection, and also you can do screen captures. So it says always use the mirror driver, and that is if that is installed. You can also just tap on the unlock capture settings, and then you can change these details. Then you have the file transfer, and it says show parent folder in the file list. So if you want to transfer files, then you're going to have to define either if it's showing the parent folder in the file list or not. And then your recordings, it says here you can either tap automatically record incoming sessions at the start of the session or automatically record outgoing. So you can change that. And then you can also change where it gets saved right over here in the bottom. And you can also have a look at the printing settings. So basically you can define whether the printing of your documents are printed out on your printer or on the printer that is connected to the remote desktop or remote device. So you can just change all of that right over there. You can install their Anydesk printer, so that'll give you some more printing options. And there you go. That's basically how you use Anydesk. It's pretty easy. Once you basically go into your settings and you can just define your basic security and your privacy settings, that is basically all you really need to do. Everything else is up to your own preferences. Other than that, the settings basically are the security and the privacy, and then you are ready to go. So all you need to do now to access a remote device is right at the top over here. You will see there's a little block, there's a little tick, and it says it gives you your connection details, and it says enter remote access. And right over there, you can now just enter this address over here, but not, of course, your address, the address that you want to access. As you can see down over here on this home page, just quickly, there is a desk that I've actually added to my favorites. And if you can see that number over there, it says 1711. So when you start typing that number in over here, it actually automatically, you just have to type in the first few numbers and it'll actually give you that a remote desk right over there, and you can just tap on it and you can access it, and it says connection in process, and then you can just access that desk right over there, quick and easy, and you'll have remote access. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave us a like. If you have any comments, don't forget to leave it in the comment section, and we will see you in the next video. Cheers for now.